everybody. So as you know me, I'm Michaela, and for speech class, my policy is going to be about supporting conjugal visits. So I'm going to start off with a Bible verse. This Bible verse is from Hebrews chapter 13, verses 3. So this Bible verse states, "Remember those who are in prison as if you were their fellow prisoners, and remember those who are being mistreated as if you are the ones suffering." Very deep. So, should conjugal visits be eliminated, amended, or supported? What do you think? I highly believe that conjugal visits should be supported. Imagine having a loved one incarcerated that you deeply care about. It can be anybody from your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, or even your son or your daughter. Wouldn't you wish to spend time with that person, whether it's at least one time out the year? Wouldn't it even be better if you could spend either 8 hours straight, 12 hours straight, or even a full 24 hours with them? Imagine having a movie night with the person you love, even though you're not able to do it at home on your own couch, but you're able to do it with them somewhere else. So our correctional centers has a huge population. There are at least 840,000 people on parole, 3.7 million people on probation, and 2.3 million people in correctional facilities. Isn't that a lot? That is a very huge amount of people who is going through multiple charges in their life. So a little background information on why this policy was started. So I have two different background informations. One of the background informations was, it was said that men have a high sex drive. So in order to keep down on men having sexual abusing another inmate, they thought, oh, maybe if we bring in that person's spouse, maybe that will lower people being sexually abused in prison. Also, this was very common back in the day when inmate would have multiple wives come in and they will get them pregnant, which is why one of the number one rules on conjugal visits is you must be married to your spouse before you are incarcerated. And we're going to talk about that. So there's many rules with conjugal visits. There's rules from the inmate must not have any STDs. The inmate and the visitor, they must go through a background check. The visitor must go through health screenings. You know, the visitor can't be on parole, and the inmate and the spouse must be married. Now you're probably wondering, what if a daughter wants to come see her father? Well, if it's their daughter, then a birth certificate has to be shown that that is her or his biological parent. Now, if it's a stepchild, rules are a little bit different. So the stepfather has to be in that stepchild's life for at least from age 7 to age 12. And you will also have to get the legal consent of that parent's guardian. So imagine if you have a stepdad and your stepdad just came in your life when you was 13 and he gets incarcerated when you're maybe 20. He will not be able to have conjugal visits with you because he was not in your life when you was between the ages 7 and between the ages of 12. Get it? It's a little complicated. Also, the number one rule is the inmates must have good behavior from the previous 6 months. So good behavior is no fighting, no cursing. Complete good behavior from the past 6 months. Not 3 months, but 6 months. So another problem is convicted killers and people with harsher crimes were able to get multiple wives pregnant. So that also concludes with now if you're incarcerated, you have to be in the medium or the lesser crime section. If you'd have any high criminal charges such as mass murderer or anything really huge, you can't have any conjugal visits at all. You have to have a medium to less criminal charges. And the solution to letting the solution to cut down on the raping of men on men, the solution and the plan is to allow their spouse to come in and have a conjugal visit with them. That's a solution. Another solution to men getting multiple wives pregnant, that solution would be they will have to be married before incarcerated. So you can't get incarcerated today and get married tomorrow and think, oh, let me go have a conjugal visit with my wife. It doesn't work like that. You have to be married before you were incarcerated. You can't even get married while in jail and think you're going to have time with your spouse with conjugal visits. It doesn't work that way. So this is really the solution to the problem. So, action. How can we take action to support conjugal visits? We can sign petitions. Petitions are very strong. If you can get a right amount of people to sign your petition, we can really make a very huge change in this world. Very huge. So on www.change.org, there are many petitions that we can sign to help support people who's incarcerated. When you're in those, you have to think that if you were in that situation, you would want to help. You would want somebody to help you, which is why we must help them. Many people who are incarcerated now some are wrongly convicted. Some people didn't even do the crime that they're in jail for. And now they're spending maybe the rest of their life in jail for something they didn't even commit. And that's not right and it's not fair. Which is why we should at least help people who's in jail. We should help them to be able to see their brother, their sister, their wife, their husband, or their daughter, or their son. We should want to help these people. So in conclusion, I spoke about the problems, the solutions, the rules, and the actions we can take to help these people. I honestly believe that you should reflect on how would you feel if you were in the footsteps of the people who needed our help. You should always reflect on how would you feel if you were them. Thank you. Bye.